Good morning and welcome to Area DMG. I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and uh, I look like I just woke up because I kind of just did. Well, sort of. I woke up earlier because I wanted to catch the Nintendo Direct. Um, Here's what they announced at the Nintendo 3DS Direct that they had in Japan. Shulk will be in Super Smash Brothers. We already knew that. Um, They showed off a little bit of Final Fantasy Explorers, a little bit of Bravely Second, a little bit of Monster Hunter 4G, and then they announced some interesting stuff. Well, sort of interesting stuff. I mean, not really anything people would be too excited about. But first thing they announced is that soon you'll be able to customize your themes. You'll be able to click on this little section right over here, and starting in October, you'll be able to customize your 3DS or 3DS XL or 2DS with all sorts of themes, like Animal Crossing themes, like all sorts of things. I think you can also use your own graphics on some of those, but I'm not sure. And then they announced the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL. Both of those retail in November in Japan. The new Nintendo 3DS is the equivalent of $160, and the new Nintendo 3DS XL is the equivalent of 188 US dollars. What's different about these ones is, well, let's talk a little bit about what they add to it. They move the cartridge slot from the top to the bottom. They move the headphone jack from here to here. They move the power button from right here to right here. They make the home button the same as the one on the 2DS. They move select and start and make them buttons again, like the 2DS. The stylus now goes in the bottom, and it takes micro SD cards instead of normal SD cards. But that's not all. It has an improved 3D viewing angle because it uses the camera to track where you are, the camera and the motion controls to track where you are so that you never lose that sweet spot. And they move the volume from here on the side to up here on this side. The newer ones are thinner, and they decided to integrate the CirclePad Pro into the new 3DS and the new 3DS LL, or rather XL. They put the ZR and ZL buttons to the side. They move the power slot, which is the same, by the way, the same USB adapter, over here where the cartridge used to be, and they move this a little bit, the infrared port to the right a little bit, because you've got L and then ZL, R and then ZR. Interesting. It looks like they removed the wireless switch, so you actually have to go into the menu to turn off your wireless, similar to the 2DS. So people who have a habit of accidentally turning that off, there you go. Also makes it a lot easier for people not to rage quit in Mario Kart and such. Oh, they added a second the second control stick over here on the new 3DS LL. They moved these buttons down a little bit, and they put a little camera nub, or camera stick as they're calling it. They're comparing the camera stick to the camera stick on the GameCube controller. Now, the screens are the same size and the same resolution, although they might have slightly higher pixel density, similar to the 2DS, so interesting. So far, these are confirmed just for Japan in November. The US might see them in March or February of next year. Europe already said that they probably won't see them until March or April of next year, which means that it'll come out during the dry spell for that. Now, an interesting thing that they added to it is, well, aside from those extra buttons, they gave it the ability to operate with your computer wirelessly, so you can transfer pictures and music wirelessly. They up the battery life. There's a new dock, which it sits in like on its top part, like this. Um, they also built in near-field communications, similar to the Wii U gamepad. So like the near-field communications there in the Wii U gamepad will be in the new 3DS LL or XL and the new 3DS. Now, the reason to get an XL is because of a larger screen. You lower your pixel density to get a larger screen. They actually the new 3DS LL doesn't have faceplates that can change out, but the new 3DS, the smaller one, has the ability where you can take the faceplate off of it and change it out with newer faceplates similar to the Game Boy Micro. The Game Boy Micro had a bunch of little faceplates, and people started 3D printing faceplates for it. So that's kind of exciting. If you're a person who likes the smaller form factor of the 3DS over the 3DS XL, this is kind of exciting for you. If you're a person who would prefer the larger screen on the 3DS XL, you give up the ability to have faceplates. Oh, they also improved the CPU ability of this. The central core processing unit of the new 3DS and the new 3DS LL is, from what I've heard, about 10% to even 30% faster. I haven't seen a full spec sheet yet, so going off of the Nintendo Direct and my very, very limited grasp of Japanese, slightly better battery life, and the new processor is actually about either 10% or 30% faster. There are going to be some games that are exclusive to the Nintendo to the new 3DS and the new to the new 3DS. Let's just call it the N3DS, or what I'd like them to call it, which would be the Super 3DS. That'd be kind of cool, or 3DS Deluxe. So many of these things. That'd be so hilarious, though. They just call it the new 3DS. One thing I find amusing about the new 3DS, the smaller one is stylish because it's actually got like the colored buttons that you'd see on the old Super Famicom, and that's kind of cool. And of course, the smaller one can actually do the faceplate thing. Anyways, because it has an improved CPU, similar to what happened with the DS and the DS Lite, there will be new 3DS or N3DS compatible only games. Similar to how we had Nintendo DSi only games, and then we had Nintendo DSi enhanced games. So, there will be some games that come out for the 3DS that will be enhanced if they're placed into a new 3DS. Meaning, like for example, Solitaire Robo runs better on a DSi or a DSi XL or anything past the DSi than it does on the DS. And some games had new camera features that were not usable on the DS and the DS Lite, but were usable on the DSi and everything above it. Things like System Flaw, for example. This is a DSi only title. I'm kind of I'm not sure what they'll be like yet, but I kind of have a feeling that new 3DS only games will be like these, but black. That's probably what's going to happen with those. The first of those will be a port of Xenoblade Chronicles, which is also why they announced Shulk for Super Smash Bros. Oh, one more thing, and one more reason why people should totally pick up a Circle Pad Pro. Super Smash Bros. uses the Circle Pad Pro in the same way that the Wavebird, the GameCube game used the camera stick. In other words, instant up smashes and down smashes, etc., which is unfair to anybody who didn't get a Circle Pad Pro. But since when is Smash Brothers about fairness, right? So that's the news that happened. Seriously, it was just like I woke up and I was just like, oh man, let's see what we've got going on here. And I was like, oh, there's Final Fantasy Explorers. That looks good. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, themes. Themes look good. Themes look good. Wait, what? Seriously, what? That's pretty much what happened this morning with that. Kind of an interesting thing to wake up to. The fact that it's not going to be too much different in price from a normal 3DS and a normal 3DS XL means that I think that Nintendo is going to start, well, definitely drawing down their stocks of the 3DS and the 3DS XL. They've already discontinued the 3DS in the United States. Oh, there was some US stuff. Ultimate NES Remix was announced for 3DS, and let me bring that up real quick. We have Amiibo figurines will be out, and they will cost about $12.99 each. There's a couple new Nintendo 2DS bundles and Wii U bundles. The Nintendo 2DS bundles will come with Mario Kart 7. Oh, soup. No, she's there. She knocked something down over there. Anyways, there's some other stuff that they're talking about. Lots and lots of release dates, which we'll talk about and we'll post up in the press releases later today. So look for those. We're also getting Fossil Fighters Frontier in the United States, which is something that they didn't mention at E3. Wait, or did they? I don't remember. Anywho, the big news from the U.S. is that we're going to be getting the Amiibo figurines, $12.99, and they also kind of stealth released 2 little Kirby games on the eShop. Those being Day-Day's Drum Dash Deluxe and Kirby Fighters Deluxe, which are taking little mini games from the Kirby Triple Deluxe and putting them in their own little thing. So yeah, that's there's a little bit more of that. But there's Ultimate NES Remix, which will be out on December 5th, for a suggested price of $29.99, and it features rapid fire challenges and matchups similar to NES Remix. And such things. Man, Xenoblade Chronicles look really good running on this thing. I play a lot of Resident Evil and Monster Hunter and things that use the Circle Pad Pro. So I'm just like, what do I do? I think the new one is pretty cool. I'm a little disappointed that the 3DS XL version of the new 3DS XL doesn't use base plates, but well, it's just really nice. I'm kind of wondering what else is going to be included in that October firmware update. Aside from the themes, I wonder what else they'll include in it. There are some things that I'd like them to fix on the 3DS, and it looks like they're kind of addressing that. Like I said, there's more information that just kind of broke about the new 3DS. Okay, they're saying here. Okay, let's see the questions that have popped up. There's a Q&A up there, and I just ran a Google Translate. There's a Google Translate on it. Thank you, NeoGaf. Okay. Any changes to contents of the OS? No, not really. They added some improved. Apparently, they had some improved parental features where you can lock the internet browser, and I don't know, some weird stuff here. Do you support SDXC? It says SDXC is not supported. but there's no micro SDXC yet, so we don't really know. You can access the micro SD card via wireless LAN, like I mentioned before, and you need Windows 7 or Windows 8 for that. You can also back up the entirety of your stuff wirelessly, so you never really have to take out the SD card. Oh. They designed something here. You can move all your old data from your old 3DS to the new 3DS, but you can't move your data from the new 3DS to an older 3DS. But you can move it from, yeah. Let's see. I'm talking about pretty much moving stuff over. Let's see. Let's look at the, features, specs, movies, stuff. Woo. Looking at specifications, stuff is loading up. Yeah, micro SD cards, same kind of AC adapter. I do like that the power button, where the power button is now. The one of your let's see, the 3D LED to tell you that 3D is on is right next to the camera now, which is weird. It also means they'll start tracking it immediately. Not too bad. Battery life is just a little bit better. It's still it is still compatible with DS and DSi stuff. Resolution's the same. It is slightly lighter. They're both slightly longer from like this way. And that's about it mostly. Oh god. It is way too early, but you are now caught up.